Hey, it's Justin of Severed Books, and today we are talking about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh man, I don't think I can say anything new about the Turtles. I kind of struggled with this one, and like they mean so much to so many people. They sort of encompass so many weird and positive things for a lot of people. They were like kind of my life when I was younger, between the ages of like, I don't know, 9 or 10 and as old as 14 maybe. Uh, it's really tough to kind of wrap my head around it. But all right, everyone knows the Ninja Turtles. Pretty much everyone knows the origin story, and I think that's what I want to talk about most today is like the fact that you can look back to 1984 and Peter Laird and Kevin Eastman, two weirdos living in New Hampshire. I think it was Dover, New Hampshire. I hope I'm getting that right. And I didn't live very far away at the time, and I had no idea as a kid that we were just like a few towns away from where this magical thing was born. But yeah, like two guys sitting in their house, their apartment, doodling on, I think, a pizza box or scrap paper, come up with this brilliant amalgamation idea, and it's absolutely magic. And it's also like it's one point in like American pop culture, American history, where you can say, you know what, the American dream might be still alive. Like you can honestly be dicking around with your friend or by yourself and create a character, create a whole IP from nothing, and it changes the world. Maybe not changes the world, but changes your world, changes you as a creator, changes industries, changes the way people approach creation. I think that like when you look at the Ninja Turtles, it's a few things boiled down to their core. You know, it's these young adolescent teenagers that are appealing to kids, because what kid doesn't like turtles? You know, like even adults like turtles. They're cool and weird looking. Ninjas, mutants. You kind of like, you grab all these pre-existing assets and you smash them together with the backstory of like brotherhood and kinship and support and community and revenge. It's got all those basics in there, but really it's like it's a mashup of a lot of stuff. And I think that preceding the Turtles, 40 years later, people are still using that same formula. In a way, I use it as well. You know, like the whole like postmodern conundrum is nothing is new, right? Like you're just kind of grabbing stuff and mashing it up to make something somewhat new, but using old tropes and stories to kind of spin and retell the same sort of moral and ethical stories. But I guess that's what I want to talk about today. But let's also look at the cover. Okay, one cover, one page. That's all we got time for. Let's do it. Let's break it down. I bet you thought I was going to crack open that slab. I'll admit that picture on the video is a little clickbaity. I do own a second print, not a first print, of the first book, CGC, but I am not going to crack that open with a hammer. This is a reprint of the classic. The back does not look like that, but yeah, total reprint. I'm going to give this to my kids to read. This cover, I think this really sums up indie, like through and through, right? Like monochromatic. It is. I'm just realizing that this is smaller than the original. The original books were a bit larger, kind of awkward, but it's fun to see it in this like modern size. Black, red, and white. It just screams like these guys are serious. these guys are not for kids. You got Leo's katana here, dripping blood. So off the bat, you sort of know, like, man, this is not like the cartoons. This is not like the squishy head toys I'm getting at Kmart. You open this baby up and you know these guys are out for blood, like literally out for blood, which is cool. You know, everybody talked about that when we were kids. Like, oh yeah, the comics, you know, like they're adult. They're not for kids. They're very different, and I love that. I think that that probably helped them get the attention they needed from licensors and stuff like that to get their eyeballs on it. And I've seen, I think it's called The Toys That Made Us, that documentary. It talks about how many people passed on making the toys and the property. Like, people couldn't get over the name. They thought it was really goofy. And it is. Like, when you hear it, you really can't forget it. Like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? Like, what in the world is that? Let's talk more about this cover, man. So, you got all 4 turtles on there. They're all on a rooftop. Sort of like hearkening back to Batman, always sort of like lurking over the cityscape. And I'll talk about that because the one page I chose from the book is very Batman-esque. But I'll always look on this cover very, very fondly. I think it's still a little avant-garde in a way. Like, if this came out today, I'd be like, yeah, I'd pick it up off the newsstand and give it a try. It's just cool as hell. It's still cool 41 years later. Man, hats off to you, like, Eastman and Laird. It is still, like, the staying power of this property is still powerful. People still love it. I don't think it's going to go away anytime soon. And I guess I mentioned it before, but, like, as far as the American dream goes, and having, like, really just, like, sitting down with a piece of paper and a pencil and being able to create something so fun and profitable from nothing is absolute magic to me. And it's a lesson that I talk about with my kids all the time. And also, like, when we go to comic shops, like, I tell my oldest kid, like, comic shops are hallowed ground. Like, libraries and comic shops. God bless the owners for maintaining them and struggling, because I know it's not easy at all. I see stores close all the time. And where else can you go in a commercial space where you can point to multi-billion-dollar properties that started literally with a pencil, a pen, and a piece of paper? You think about Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, Peter and Kevin here, Mike Mignola, people that, like, had this cool idea and stuck with it, and now they're legends. They're absolute legends, and they've changed the entertainment industry. So I think that's the lesson that I want to take from TMNT, that the power of creativity, it's still alive. It's still there. You can do it. Don't let anyone fucking stop you from doing it. If you have a cool idea, talk about it with your friends, you know, keep it close. Don't tell too many people, but just work on it and make it your own and make it weird and special. And that's exactly what these guys did, and blew everybody out of the water. All right, one cover, one page. That's all we got time for. Let me choose. Let me go to the page that I love, because I'm a stereotypical Raphael guy, of course. But this one is so fun because it's like Batman. It's just like Batman on the gargoyle kind of like rooftop, looking over the city. Raphael is like inked darker than the background, and he's just ready to pounce. You know, like, this guy, he's not screwing around. He is going to tear you to shreds, and God help you if you encounter old Raph in an alley. So this is the page I chose. I know it's a little cliche, but I adore it. This one's cool too, but nope, one cover, one page. That's it, baby. Very cool. Thanks for watching One Cover, One Page. I need to promote something. I don't know if I said it before, but the Sickest Witch RPG I'm working wildly hard on right now. It's being edited with my buddy Spencer. Thank you so much, dude. I don't know if you watch these or not, but you're helping me out a great deal. Check it out on severedbooks.com on the crowdfunding page. It's going to be rad. If you like old school RPGs, it's very rules light with a couple meaningful mechanic hooks. There's a shared magic pool system that keeps all the players invested and involved in every spell. There's the magic is very deadly and weird. Like, in order to cast a spell, you have to sever someone's body part, basically, and imbue that with power to create a spell. And there's a couple other things that make it dark and interesting. So check it out, Sick a Switch. It's going to launch in late March or early April. And thank you. I love making these videos, and if you love them too, like and subscribe. I will see you later. Bye.